Good morning, good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP and the Sigma coin. So checking in on our update from yesterday, we had noted that our 4-hour momentum was starting to curve back up again, and sure as heck it did. So we saw an expectation of one more sweep of the lows coming into play here, absorbed aggressively and quick as we kind of wicked down into this area with an immediate reaction back out off the lows here. So you can see now at this point our 4 hour is getting ready to pass through the momentum, and we have a separation of this momentum indicator showing that we have more upside potential starting again here, which is what you kind of saw in this region. So, and then when we jump over to the daily, I believe we've confirmed yes. So we've got this guy, two of them now are starting to show that we are at the 50-yard line for this guy, getting ready to hopefully move through, and this one is now confirming an upside potential as well. So the last one is going to be this guy catching up and starting to turn to the upside. So jumping back to the lower time frames, we can see that this fractal that's playing out here has appearance of being completed. What I would like to see is this guy get back up to this fair market value of 207 and then do a back test of 205, and that would coincide with this little bull flag here that you start this journey of. So basically, if we're using this as our model on the 4 hour for this price action here, this was months worth of price action, so we're seeing a smaller startup here with this being since November. So this was roughly a month worth of sideways chop since the lows came in. I guess a little bit less, 3 weeks. And during this time period, this was back in July, and it took all the way until November for the same structure to play. So assuming that we're looking at a 5-way move to the downside here with a back test of a slightly lower low, that would coincide with a 5-way move to the downside here for this last leg, and we would see a slightly lower low come into play right here at this last move. So so this would basically be the completion of that last complex correction for the C leg, and you'd be looking at now this breakout manifesting here and getting higher for a back test and holding support on it, and that would align with how this price action here did that lower low, then got back up above the range, back tested, above the range, back tested. So this got up onto here, and we would basically want to see breakout, back test, breakout, back test. So it's basically get on top of this -1 deviation here and hold it. And if we can see that structure play out in a sideways chop, then we know that impulse is coming next. So that's where I'm basing our structure currently, just based off of how it looks for a large wave 2. And then XRP really likes its wave 3s to just be absolutely wild. So you have 1, 2, then 3, 4, and then here's your 5th coming into play here for the whole thing. So we'll be watching these wave counts as we go, but the expectation is that we may be very close to the next leg higher on this coin, with the fact that this structure is looking so bullish now, especially when we have it here. So dominance wise, we're also starting to see that curve back up again. So we were looking yesterday into our XRP dominance on the daily, and you can see that from the tag of the 786 backtest, we've actually now impulsed, turned blue here, and we're getting ready, and we've turned up through this level. So this guy is our last one that's going to start running more dominance to XRP than other assets, and that's what we're expecting to see play out here. Finally, we jump over to Sigma. Sigma did get a little bit of a smackdown, so more discounts for you. We've kind of completed a big portion of this gap to the left with a falling wedge pattern that appears to have a very looking 5-way move to the downside, kind of wrapping up here. So you can kind of see that this guy is looking pretty wedgy, which is bullish, right? So this final kind of inefficiency, price has gotten low enough, it will take very little capital to start moving asset higher. And that's what we're going to be looking for here on Sigma. So when we zoom out larger for our price target predictions, just a return to the 1618 now is so because of how low the market cap has gotten. As soon as XRP starts to go, you got an 11,720% upside for Sigma to the 1618. Let's just get back to the old time high, relieve all the trapped buyers, still the 17x. So if you had any thoughts or ideas on what you could potentially do, then that's there's some general, even a retrace. Let's do a retrace. Let's go just down to this thing can only muster a retrace to the 702, well, now you're looking at 620%, or maybe even the 0.5, 311, right? So you still got a potential upside for what the community has been able to accomplish, do, and everything else, along with supply being now distributed amongst two different blockchains. So 3 different, actually. So yeah, so you're going to have a lot of potential still playing, and we just got to get the oomph to happen, which right now I think the oomph is playing out and getting ready to go based off of the dominance and the fractal that we're following for XRP's price action here at the lows. So all right, so we'll check in tomorrow, see how this plays out, but ultimately we would like to see a return to VWAP, a backtest, and a breakout and support of the VWAP here, so it no longer becomes a resistance point, and we can now finish this kind of leg higher and we're out of here. So all right, we'll check in tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.